Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. Relatively recently, we looked at this. This was the VCD, the Turkish dubbed VCD version of Attack of the Clones from, big shock since I said Turkish dubbed, Turkey. Now, we also looked at the VCD of Phantom Menace from Turkey, and I said we'd have more Turkish stuff coming soon once it got in my hands, but some of it was a little weird, so it would take a little bit of research on my part to figure out exactly what we're seeing. Because you see, in Turkey, one thing that you tend to see happening is you would see a release hit, and that release would be kind of a mixture of other regions' discs, as long as those discs had Turkish language options. That's one of the sort of positives and negatives of this modern digital era in which we have DVDs, Blu-rays, Blu-ray 3D, Ultra HD, etc., etc. And that is the fact that because these discs tend to have multiple language options, either for subtitles or audio or both, it means that you don't actually need to produce a new disc for each region, which is really good from a production side standpoint in terms of keeping costs low, but at the same time also means that most regions that are a little bit more kind of off the beaten path from an economic standpoint are going to oftentimes wind up with repackaged stuff from another region rather than something of their own tailored to that particular audience. And that seems to be the case that has happened here with Turkey. In this episode, we're going to check out the Attack of the Clones, hence bringing this up, the Attack of the Clones DVD release from Turkey. In our next episode, we'll look at the Revenge of the Sith one from Turkey, the one I don't have a VCD of. I also don't have the Phantom Menace on DVD, so that's why we're starting here with Attack of the Clones. And then after that, we will be looking at the 2006 DVD set of the original trilogy that's really going to blow some people's minds, I think. So, let's take a look at that one for Attack of the Clones. This is it. Attack of the Clones on DVD from Turkey. And note, these are all official releases through Tiglan, same people that did the VCD releases, and we actually saw the advertisements for some of these when we looked at the VCDs. So we have Star Wars with the 2 behind it, the familiar artwork. Nothing up top to say widescreen or full screen or anything. It is widescreen. We have the title there, Klonların Saldirisi. Maybe I said it right the first time. Maybe I said it right this time. Maybe I've never said it right. Underneath, basically the THX stuff, right? The THX digital remastering for superior sound and blah, 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 except in Turkish. There's a spine there, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, Star Wars, and the title there in Turkish. Roman numeral 2, THX symbol, Lucasfilm symbol, and product number. The back, very similar to the US back, except of course it's all broken down in Turkish. So we have disc 1 and its information, disc 2 and its information, description of the film, and then you don't have any English really until you get down into the cast crew information, but even then the stuff that's like, also starring is in Turkish. Your symbols and whatnot, your legalese, and everything down here at the bottom. Again, it is from Tiglan. That's the company in this case. It is a nice clear package, which I like, because the clear packages allow us to have some artwork underneath it, which is pretty cool there. We got Zam over here and a clone trooper. Why they're side by side, I couldn't tell you. Clone troopers in the background, then Jedi in the background of Mace and Obi-Wan there. Then, disc-wise, that same art from the one side is used here. This is actually disc 2. Just want to carry over the art here for you. So, Star Wars 2, Attack of the Clones, except in this case, Attack of the Clones is in English. But like, wait, what? Everything on the packaging was in Turkish. Again, it's because we got some repackaging going on. So we got Star Wars Attack of the Clones, says DVD 2 instead of disc 2, but DVD 2, Region 2 PAL, which you can barely see there. Then a product number, tiny bit of legalese on the bottom. But otherwise, your art there. Then the art for disc 1 or DVD 1 is not Zam, but Django. Title there, DVD 1. You can see the PAL, Region 2 PAL thing a little bit better here, of course. And product number set up similarly, just with different artwork here. Then there is an insert, but the insert is essentially what we've seen elsewhere. Right? It's English. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones with Yoda. Chapter listing with legalese. information about what you're going to find on the disc, and get the most out of your Episode 2 DVD. Huh. So what is this? Well, I'm thinking what we're seeing here may be discs that were originally intended for Australia. It's possible here. The reason I say that is some of the language options and some of the things that we see. So on disc 1, which is the movie disc, or DVD 1, there's a lot of different language options. The spoken language options are only English Dolby Digital 5.1 Surround EX, English 2.0 Dolby Surround, and the audio commentary. But subtitle-wise, it includes Turkish, and there's a ton of them. English, Polish, Magyar, Portuguese, Turkish, and several others I don't even recognize or could only take guesses at this point. So that's what allowed it to be used in Turkey, which essentially makes it a Turkish, subtitled version, not a dubbed version, because you can turn on the subtitles, but there's no Turkish audio in this case, which is interesting given the fact that the VCD actually was dubbed, whereas this is not. And then the second disc is the one that makes me think it's from Australia, because it's all English. There is no subtitle option, no audio option for any of the bonus features for anything other than English. But at the beginning, when it shows copyright warnings, the copyright warning it shows along with what we think of as sort of the regular warning is one specific to Australia. Hence, why I think these discs may be repackages from, of all places, Australia rather than somewhere else. Either way, you can tell the discs were not originally designed for Turkey. Otherwise, you'd at least have a Turkish dubbed option since we know that they exist, you would think. And the bonus disc would be something other than just English, because that's not really focused on a Turkish-speaking audience either, at all. But an interesting one. An interesting note on what kind of things we see coming out of Turkey, how unusual and odd they are, and the fact that they're just not a major market. Most of what we look at tends to be from major markets. The US, Japan, and the UK. Which means that it's unusual for us to necessarily see stuff from a secondary market, particularly a market that's getting reused stuff in their own packaging to keep costs low. We will be back, though, in our next episode with more of this, with Revenge of the Sith. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.